Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Q News English. This is a special day for us today. There will be a surprise for all of you as I'll be joined by somebody who's really special, and we'll come back to that. To start with, let's go through the headlines of all the primary newspapers, starting with the Deccan Chronicle. It says, confiscate crime assets, PM to G20. Now, there is a G20 meeting being held at the New Delhi, and it is being headed by our very own Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. It draws focus to swift extradition of fugitives. Now, we have people like Vijay Mallya or Nirav Modi who have done economic crimes and they have fled away from India. Now, for their extradition, this is a step that the government has proposed should be taken. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, addressing the G20 anti-corruption ministerial meet, proposed that G20 nations could exemplify using non-conviction based confiscations to expedite the recovery of foreign assets arising from crime proceeds. He emphasized that the importance of prompt asset tracing, identification and return in tandem with the swift extradition post-judicial due process. So once the judicial process has been completed, it is very important to have to confiscate the properties. Now, he emphasized, now their assets are to be traced. First of all, the asset of the perpetrator of the crime will be traced, identified, and also in conjunction to that, the swift extradition post judicial due process. So there will be extradition also. So he has requested all the countries to cooperate and send them back to India. Modi underlined the adverse impact of corruption, particularly on the poor, hampering resource utilization, market integrity, service delivery and overall quality of life. Now, these are some of the terms that are very widely used in corporate world, and our ministers are also taking on to it. Now, as Modi says, it will impact hampering resource utilization. Very important term. Resource utilization is now being related to corruption. As the corruption increases, we have the utility of resources might not be appropriate. That's what he intends to say. And optimum utilization of resources should be the agenda in any sector, not only government sector but in private sector also. That's what the mantra is. If you are utilizing your resources properly, then you will be able to deliver everything on time, and that's what relates to the next word out there, market integrity and service delivery. You will not be able to deliver if you are not utilizing the resources properly. So very well equated there. He referred Noble literature, Rabindranath Tagore's writing against greed and Upanishads call for restraint from it. He also referred to Rabindranath Tagore's writings and said they all point in the direction of refraining from any corruption to be done. Also highlighted Kautilya's Arthashastra, stressing the government's role in optimizing state resources for citizens' welfare. Now, this is really interesting references being drawn from the epics and from especially Upanishads also being quoted here. Modi reiterated India's strict anti-corruption policy, harnessing technology for transparency and accountability. He detailed efforts to seal gaps in welfare schemes and digitize services, resulting in direct benefit transfers and significant savings. Our government e-marketplace or GEM portal has brought greater transparency in government procurement, he added. Citing the Economic Offenders Act and the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the Prime Minister noted the successful retrieval of assets from economic offenders the ones that we discussed earlier are the economic offenders. They have not murdered anybody, but it is equivalent to a murder itself. You know, if you loot the money of people, they are left with nothing. So that's what he means here. Let's see. Applauding to a collective G20 effort, he advocated for enhancing domestic asset recovery mechanism, emphasizing international corruption's pivotal role in curbing corruption. Modi highlighted the role of audit institutions in battling corruption and urged cultivating ethical and integral values to establish a society. Now again, integrity and ethics and values are being put in perspective by the Prime Minister of India in front of all the G20 member nation heads. So that's a very warm, that's a welcome move. And after protest, government puts off Group 2 exams. So for all those who were appearing in Group 2 exams, that's a welcome news, as there was a dharna staged by over thousands of students in Nampalli of Hyderabad. We have after those protests, we have the news coming in that government has put a halt on the Group 2 exams. Let's see, the IT Minister K.T. Ramarao on Saturday announced that Group 2 recruitment examination had been postponed following an intense protest and Telangana High Court taking up the matter. He said Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao had directed the Chief Secretary to reschedule the exam. Now, just for those of you who do not know what these exams pertain to, what is a Group 2 examination? It is for the public services which are under the direct, which report to the Chief Minister and also the Governor. Now, these are Telangana state examinations that are conducted for the public services. Now, Group 2 examination, the paper was leaked earlier this year in the month of March, and that is the reason it was postponed, and now the dates clash with another examination, that is the Gurukul examination. That's the reason for the protest, and apart from that, also there was an increase in syllabus of economics. So that's the reason all the students have been protesting, that they did not get ample time to prepare for these examinations. And finally, their plea has been heard by the government. They had to do this, and now it has been postponed. Congress to hold 12K meetings ahead of polls. Now, Revanth Reddy has an excellent plan to promote Congress in the state, and he has planned to visit. Let's have a deep dive here. TPCC President A. Revanth Reddy said the Congress will organize meetings in 12,000 villages and 3,000 divisions. Now that's a Herculean task being undertaken by Revanth Reddy, and he's the man who can actually deliver it. So let's move on to read what he has to say. Congress will also release a charge sheet on the failures of BRS government, he added, speaking at a program at Gandhi Ideology Center in Bowenpalli on Saturday. So they will also release a charge sheet against the BRS government on their failures. Now that will be an important one to watch out for, people. We will definitely read out the different failures of BRS government, as the opposition party is preparing a charge sheet against it, and none other than Revanth Reddy is going to present it to all of us. Moving ahead, we have BRS to go back on attack as good time beacons. The party will initially focus on senior Congress leaders from the undivided Medak district, to some of whom is believed to have made good offers, including assembly ticket, MLC nominations and cabinet posts. The BRS will witness hectic political activity after the commencement of auspicious Nija Shravana Masam on 17th, 2 days after Independence Day, that will wind up the conclusion of election campaign towards the end of the year. The party's leadership is learned to have decided to focus on Operation Akarsh. Now, very interesting name being given to this as Operation Akarsh. Akarsh means to attract. Now, are they going to attract all these leaders to join their party? Is that what it means, or is that what it indicates? And the offers are assembly ticket, MLC nomination and cabinet posts. So, and we also, time and again, I see this reference that Shravan Masam, it has been related to Shravan Masam as soon as it starts. The Operation Akarsh would also start. Incidentally, the first list of BRS candidates is expected to be released any day after 17th of August. Nija Shravan Masam stretches till September 5th. It is learned that the party's leadership will initially focus on senior Congress leaders from the undivided Medak district, to some of whom is believed to have made good offers for joining the BRS. Now they will be trying to attract the top leaders of Congress so that it is divided, and also so it's a divide and rule policy. That's what we can say as of now from the preliminary view of it. BRS, including an assembly ticket, MLC nomination and cabinet post, is also being offered. A similar strategy will be adopted in other districts as well. So politics is, the heat in politics is increasing, and as the Shravan Masam is nearing, now the temperature is rising as well. We also have Foxconn to invest 400 million more in state. Now Foxconn primarily deals with instruments that we use for calling, or telephone instruments. Let's see, in a boost to manufacturing sector, third party phone and its peripheral contract manufacturer Foxconn Group on Saturday announced an additional investment of 400 million into Telangana. The group in March announced an investment of 150 million and laid foundation for a unit in May. So in May this year, they have laid foundation for their unit. So that's a good news coming in for all the people who are related to telecom industry. They can apply, they will get some jobs also here, and along with that, the state also gets a big 400 million, a boost of 400 million. Now that would summarize all the news, the top news from Deccan Chronicle. Let's move on and see what Hindu has to offer today as their headlines. So for Hindu, it is a strife pushes 230 lives to dense jungle. Now, so several Meitei families from Manipur's More, which had fled to Myanmar as the violence broke, seek help for return as their stay gets extended. Now, this is there are some families from Meitei community, as we discussed earlier 3 days ago, about different tribes that exist in Manipur. Meitei is they are the majority, and almost 53% of their population is Meitei. But the landscape that they have to survive on is only 10%. The remaining 90% land is with the Kuki tribe. So, and they are nearly 40% of the population, and that is one of the reasons that led to this strife. In early May, when violence broke out in More, a commercial town bordering Myanmar, bringing a cascading effect that has led to the turmoil in Manipur. 230 Indian nationals from the Meitei ethnic group went across the border with little time to think. They believed they had escaped to safety, but have been stranded in jungle since 3rd of May. More, through which the Asian Highway 1 runs connecting Tokyo to Turkey, is currently surrounded by Kukizo tribes. So they were all surrounded by Kukizo tribes. Now let's have a quick look here. They escaped through the jungle, and basically all the Meitei tribes, they stay in the plains, but then they had to escape through the jungles, and it is now surrounded by Kuki tribes, and their threat to life increases there. In a telephonic conversation with the Hindu, Bohendra 50 asks for help. One representative each from our family gathers around the phone to speak. They get network on their Indian number only when they come close to the border. Once they return to their tents, they are completely cut off. Who will help us come back? Bojendra asks. His wife and his children have lived in makeshift tent in the dense woody area for over 100 days. Their ordeal begins when they watched their houses burn from across the border and stood there helpless, they say. On 3rd of May, Bojendra was getting ready for a puja at around 5 p.m. when he got a call from his relative in Churachandpur, 140 kilometers away. He said a fight had broken out, but I didn't think much of it. Bojendra recounts. Kukis and Metis had always lived in close harmony in Moreh. Plus, the Indian Reserve Battalion, that's the IRB, the police and Central Armed Police Forces, Assam Rifles were deployed, but the crowd grew into a mob. Around 6 p.m. there was a panic in Moreh. It began with stone throwing and quickly escalated to setting Metis shops on fire. Finally, homes were burnt. They burnt Tamil houses too, adds Layoba, who escaped with his family of 5. State government sources say about 60 houses and shops have been burnt, of which 45 belong to Tamils. The group settled in Manipur in 1960 and run business here. Bojendra said he called the police, but there was no response. I ran to the Assam Rifles depot next to my house for help, he recollects, but claims they stood and watched. Now that's a big one coming there. They stood and watched. They will not be able to take action unless and until they have been ordered to do so. Bojendra said, and to save their lives, he had over 200 other Metis ran across the border. To save their lives, he and over 200 other Metis ran across the border as going towards Teenmar, a Kuki-dominated district, was unimaginable. So, an army man stationed near Myanmar border. Now, definitely the government has to take all the necessary steps. It has been brought to media. It has been addressed. Now, the one phone call that he made should be the life saver for them. And we hope and pray their entire family should be safe, and also government should take adequate. Now they know the number of houses that are being burnt. We can see it at the locations also. So they need to be reinstated, and and we urge the government to do it as soon as possible. 4, so that their life returns to normalcy. 4 key laws, including Data Protection Act, get President's assent. Now that's a good news coming in for all of us. President Draupadi Murmu on Saturday gave assent for 4 key laws, including the Digital Personal Data Protection Act as the one pertaining to the control of services in Delhi. The laws were passed by Parliament in recently concluded monsoon session, while the Government of National Capital Territory, that's the NCR of Delhi, Amendment Act provides for a 3-member authority that will handle the transfer and postings of Group A officers under the Delhi government. The data protection law will provide for a framework to prevent the misuse of individuals' data by different online platforms. This is again, there are a lot of things that can be done. There are, as we have artificial intelligence also these days supporting the analytics. So we have the data that can, the websites that you browse, the items that you order for, all these form a pattern. Your spending pattern also can be studied, and with the help of AI, you can be a target, you can be targeted. Any individual can be targeted to sell, or they can, wherever. Let's take an example. If you go to YouTube and you see a video of a particular person, you will be shown only those videos related to that person or related to that game or that genre. So to this extent, you are being played with your, they're playing with your psychology also, since the tools like artificial intelligence are available to calculate in which direction. They can even calculate the next step that you might be taking. So this is a very important act coming in place here. The Delhi Services Bill had seen extensive debate in both houses, with the opposition pressing for a diffusion of votes in the Rajya Sabha. The parties belonging to Indian National Development Inclusive Alliance, that India, so that's the full form of India, people, Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance, that's that's what India stands for, accused the center of violating a May 11 Supreme Court order which had given the Delhi government the control over services uh, and surpassing the rights of the Arvind Kejriwal led government in the Union Territory. The data protection bill was passed by voice vote amid opposition protests over Manipur. However, it should not result in surveillance state, but it will definitely help the common man to from being targeted by different companies using their data. CM favors rescheduling Group 2 exam KTR. Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has directed the Chief Secretary to consult the Telangana State Public Service Commission to reschedule the Group 2 examination to ensure no inconvenience is caused to lakhs of aspirants. Starting this in a post on Twitter formally, IT Minister KT Ramarao said the Chief Minister also advised the Chief Secretary to ensure proper staggering of recruitment notifications in future as well, so that every aspirant gets adequate time to prepare for the eligible exams. Gold worth rupees 4.86 crore seized. The customs officials at RGIA, that's Rajiv Gandhi International Airport, on Saturday seized 8 kilos of smuggled gold in 4 different cases worth around 4. Passengers in possession of gold had arrived by flight from Bangkok in the first case, and the other 2 had arrived from Sharjah and Dubai, with gold hidden in their trousers and undergarments. That's a very different way to smuggle gold. Revolt and Relegate campaign by Congress. Congress launched its campaign against the government with the theme Tirga Bardam Tharmi Kordam, which translates to revolt and relegate. Moving on, we have helping trees to fend for smugglers. A sensor developed by Hyderabad-based companies protecting trees dispersed across several locations and in and outside the state from being hacked. So that's an interesting sensor that has been developed. And people, as I promised you, today's telecast is going to be a special one. So I will keep up to my promise and introducing to you on first time on Q News English, I will be joined by the very own, your very own, our very own Mallanna, the dynamic Mallanna. Please take the stage and very warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
And let's move on. So I was just going through the news today, and people, we have Mallanna here. Yeah, yes, please, can we have the mic? Yeah, thank you. So the founder of Q News is with us in the house today. So how does it feels to be a part of Q News English, Mallanna? What is your thought? Everybody, asks in the, I go through the comment section also.
Yeah.
So people want to know as to what is the thought behind Q News English. Some of them think it is to improve their English, or some of them think it is a step towards your political ambitions. That's what they write.
So it is not my political ambition.
Yeah.
I don't have any personal interest behind this news channels and etc. I am fighting for the people.
I have seen that with my own eyes. I have witnessed that.
Yes, I am fighting for the people. I have to fight always for them only, not for me.
Yes.
If I want to do myself, there is so many things. That's why I am.
As we discussed last night also.
Yes. This is only for public interest.
Yeah.
We should be always in opposition.
That's what he told me.
That is the main thing.
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
And the reason behind that, people, we did have a discussion last night why we should always be in opposition. because there are certain policies that are made by the government. There are some good policies, there are some policies with flaws, as I was explained by Mallanna. So we need to have the corrections done. We are the people who are going to check those policies for validations. Yesterday's news, when he was hosting the Telugu news, although I don't understand Telugu, recently Griha Lakshmi was the
Griha Lakshmi,
scheme.
yes.
We discussed in Q News English as well. My logic was about the funds that are being allocated. But as per him, nobody in the state actually qualifies for the Griha Lakshmi scheme.
Yes.
So can you throw some light, please, also on Q News English for all our viewers as to
limits. The family income of the applicant should be below 2 lakhs. What it was?
వచ్చినానంటే సొంత
₹49,848 1,49,848 per capita of Telangana 2,78,833.
So he told 2,78,000.
yes, that's the per capita income people of Telangana that has been stated by the Chief Minister
of Telangana.
Yeah.
Right. In this matter, the Chief Minister told 2,83,000 per capita
Yes.
for one man.
Yes.
If there is 4 members in a family,
That
then you
almost
calculate
12, more than 12 lakhs, 10 lakhs definitely.
all
very-
expenses and etc. reduced. Only they have 3 lakhs only.
Yes.
If we calculate like that, so they are not eligible for Griha Lakshmi.
So basically that's just a stint that has
That
been
is only
put.
false scheme. वो false scheme है.
So nobody qualifies.
Nobody qualifies.
So the kind of funds that are being allocated, I was around
He is
those
biggest
numbers,
liar
but
of the world.
this is just to lure the people to vote in their favor as the elections are approaching. by
Just
end of
for
the year.
election schemes.
That's an interesting fact being pulled out by Mallanna. As we expected, he has entered the platform with a dynamic revelation that the whole scheme itself, nobody qualifies for it at the first place. Leave aside the
The
financials.
government should be answer this question.
Yes.
केसीआर आपने बोलना चाहते हैं, आंसर दे दो इनको. ये क्या क्या स्कीम है, क्या क्या लाया हो. आपने कहते 2,80,000 पर कैपिटा बोल के.
Yes.
2 लाख के अंदर इनकम सर्टिफिकेट कैसा देते हो एमआरओ लोग अभी.
Yes, if any MROs issue this certificate that per capita income is less than 2 point,
I thought that all certificates are fake. Is it?
whoever is applying, so they are making a fool of themselves.
Yes.
And the results, that your application has been selected will not be revealed before election, so that there is always a hope. So this is like a carrot that you show to a rabbit, and
the
then
government can't give any schemes, only taking applications.
that's all.
That's all. It's continuous process until end of the world.
So let's move on with that revelation coming from Malaysia. Now we have PMCX G20 supports to seize offenders' assets. We just went through that. We also have KCR government relents defers Group 2 exams, fresh schedule soon.
So following
Yes, Foxcom to invest another 3,300 crores in Telangana unit. We just went through that, and we said investment to be made in arm of group project. So we also have most top ranking MBBS grads pick general medicine for a specialty. And moving on, we also have government is aggressive on economic crimes. Economic criminals.
Yes.
So, UP family held by Pak freed after an year, and 2 minors raped in Rajasthan. In a gruesome incident, a 17-year girl in Rajasthan's Karoli was allegedly abducted and raped by cashiers working in public health and engineering department in Jhalawar.
Girl 7 was allegedly raped by her neighbors.
That's really tragic, you trust your neighbors,
If
and
you can see the data in NCRP,
so here we are.
the
Rajasthan,
state of
topping
Rajasthan
the chart.
reported the highest number of rape cases across India in 2021 with over 6,000. Let's see this one. Report rates per 1 lakh females in 2021. Mizoram top में है जब
Yes, Mizoram was topping the charts with 14.3,
in
and
2011.
that
As
data
per
pertains to 2011.
Now Rajasthan बढ़ गया.
Yes. And followed by Madhya Pradesh with 2,947 cases. Overall, the country reported over 31,000 cases of rape that year. So,
2020.
and it is only the cases that are being reported. There are so many cases in which the parents, out of the fear of the girl's future, or out of shame, they do not report so many cases, and it goes unnoticed.
Recently, the Rajya Sabha brings the bill that if
Yes,
we rape
the
child
offenders,
girl, 20 years of
imprisonment
and
yeah.
etc. That is the good thing.
In fact, a capital punishment should also be introduced. It is being introduced when it comes to raping a minor.
Yes.
So that is a very well thought, a welcome move by the government. Should not have any opposition going against that, because these are good. Even if you are in opposition, it does not mean you oppose everything. Things which are good for the society, like penalizing people who are actually the rapists. It's good for everybody.
In our Telangana, our politicians rapes future of people. Yeah.
That's very well put by Mallanna. Again, the dynamic Mallanna is here. That's why I call him personally the dynamic Mallanna, because he will not hesitate to put across.
Because I am saying so many schools doesn't have toilets and buildings, blackboards, etc.
So no infrastructure.
No infrastructure. So it means raping.
Yes, that definitely it's
governments are
raping the
raping.
future of
Yes.
all those children actually.
Yes,
If you do not provide
yes.
them enough facilities, despite the fact that there are funds available with the state. You have funds to support people to build a house, but on the other hand, you do not utilize those funds to build the future, or to facilitate those young minds to make the future of the state bright.
बिहार में ज़्यादा देखते हैं वो रेप केसेस का डाटा अब 2014 से
Okay.
2019 तक बिहार में अभी थोड़ा कम हो गया है.
We have Delhi also
Yes,
with
yes,
28.
So निर्भया का big issue.
Yes.
निर्भया.
That was really sad. And we have Uttar Pradesh with 390. So the kind of governance that is being done now in Uttar Pradesh, will this data change is the big question. Will the Yogi government be able to curtail this number that is the highest, over 300? So what do you think about the rule in the current Yogi's rule in, will he be able to control this number with the kind of policies he's adopting?
Now, I thought of Yogi focusing on mosque and temples.
That is what we thought, yeah.
And as well as the rowdy sheeters, and recently, इनका नाम क्या है?
The two brothers that were killed.
So many encounters and development also he's doing.
Yes.
He's doing something
So,
for the people.
so
And,
good
but
words
main
coming
thing-
in
main-
from Mallanna.
Main thing is, he's controlling the rowdyism and gundas. He's focusing more than on.
So some words of praise, which is very difficult to hear from Mallanna. You know, he will criticize mostly, but
Because
today
Yogi doesn't have any farmers. Yogi doesn't have any assets. And
assets.
he's a
Yes.
single person. That's why he's doing well. But our CM Chief Minister, he has so many farmhouses. He has so many assets.
So definitely.
That is the difference between KCR and Yogi.
Yes, the kind of policies that are being introduced by the UP government are welcome. The way he is controlling the state is also much required. The data says it all. The number of rapes in Uttar Pradesh is the highest per 10. So you need to handle this with an iron fist. That is what Yogi has been doing. So that's a welcome move. And also let's see what
The Sunday.
the Sunday Express has to offer today. Tragedy in Tirumala as leopard kills 6-year-old girl. A 6-year-old girl was mauled to death by a leopard while she was trekking to Tirumala along the Alipiri footpath on Friday night with her parents. This is the
This
first
is the first
incident.
incident of death to be reported due to the leopard attack on the pedestrian route leading to Tirumala. The deceased was identified at Lakshita from Potreddy Palem village in Kovuru Mandal in Nellore district. According to the TTD authorities, Lakshita went missing around 6:30 p.m. on Friday while she along with her parents was trekking to Tirumala by walk.
Yes, they were trekking to Tirupati. Usually what happens, you know, TTD or Tirupati, Tirumala Devsthanam.
Yes, yes.
So it is a very auspicious place for all the Hindus, and we visit, you know, most of us have visited Tirupati. So usually what happens, the kids really love the terrain and it's very peaceful, very nice.
God cannot save lives.
Oh God.
That is another thing. Yeah, okay.
Yes. So this is what happened, and you know, really sad to see a kid losing her life to a leopard attack. Now, what about the forest authorities here? The big question that arises: how come a leopard could attack? You know, were the forest authorities not aware of the fact that there was a leopard, Anna,
Yes.
in this area? It has now become a man-eater.
Yes, yes. In the Tirumala, there is Nalamala forest.
Okay.
And Sheshachalam forest.
Okay.
Sheshachalam forest, and there are so many leopards and government protecting leopards and but not protecting people.
That's really sad. You know, you need to and the kind of money that the Tirupati Trust gets, is it the highest in the world? That's what I heard.
Yes, highest. Daily approximately the god get 2 crores rupees worth gold or silver, so many.
God gets 2 crores. So that means this child could have been protected with this much money. You know, a safe path could have been prepared for all the people who come
So
to.
already they have taken some precautions,
Okay.
but that is this incident is very
An
unfortunate.
isolated one?
Yes.
All right. And TTD has announced 10 lakhs ex gratia for the parents of the victims. So they are going to give 10 lakhs to the parents of the victim
So 10 lakhs value.
for a child's life.
Yes.
TTD moves treasures to step up the surveillance along the pedestrian routes to Tirumala. Now, this is what I was talking
Yes,
about.
yes,
They
yes.
should be doing this. Base camp set up to capture the man-eater leopard, another point being covered here. 550 CCTV cameras to be installed to track movements of. Now, the point is, Mallanna, why these things were not done earlier?
So they did something, but if
Now, they
there
are
is an
installing
incident,
500
if there-
CCTV cameras now.
Yes, already there are some CC cameras, but it is not cover all the areas. Now they are taking this much of
Now, precautions are being taken now. So that's a reactive approach. Once the incident happens, then we react to it and we
Yes.
take the steps. So that is what I've been discussing all along, Why are we not proactive in India? We can think, we have brains and we have brain think tanks also. So don't you think a proactive approach is required by us?
Yes, there is no case here. That's why they lie.
Right.
Doctors face bitter.
Doctors face a bitter prescription pill. Doctors prescribing non-generic drugs will soon land in hot water. Hot water. The National Medical Commission (NMC) in a notification dated 2nd August advised doctors to prescribe only generic drugs, failing which they would be penalized and may even see their license to practice be suspended. So that's a good move here. KCR announces candidates for 80 to 90 assembly segments this week. If BRS insiders are to be believed, Party Supremo and Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has more or less finalized the candidates for 80 to 90
assembly
seats.
segments in the state, and the process of the fine-tuning the full and final list is going on. So, sources said that a meeting was convened by Rao at his farmhouse. Always he is
As you said just now, he has farmhouses and lot of properties. So we have a mention of a farmhouse right here.
yes.
Does Yogi have a farmhouse?
No.
On the other hand.
No, he doesn't have even one single bedroom house also. Right, on Saturday with his core team. Who is the core team in TRS party?
His son?
And his nephew and his daughter.
So his entire family went to a farmhouse
Yeah,
and discussed
core
over there.
team.
Is that the scenario?
They are finalizing the candidates for upcoming elections. So 80 to 90, I thought 40% of MLAs didn't get any tickets right now. I thought KCR thinking about new faces.
Okay.
Yes.
And the attendees of the meeting were the Finance Minister T. Harish Rao, MLC Naveen Rao and two other prominent
All
figures.
Raos are meted.
So they had a family meeting and they
Yes.
discussed that 90 people will get the entry to the assembly.
So KCR and Harish Rao, KT Rama Rao, Kavita Rao, Naveen Rao, they are the final step, final core team.
They are the core team.
They are the core team.
All right.
They can decide the Telangana future. One family decide the Telangana future, Telangana education, Telangana health.
How can they challenge Congress? On one hand they say nepotism is going on,
Yes.
but what about this? Now the entire family is handling one state. So is that not, something similar to what they accuse the opposition of, or they accuse the Congress of?
So if you want to take one poll, public will decide.
Yes, let's do that. Let's take a poll, people, as to is Telangana's future in one family's hand. So kindly do let us know in the comment section
No, you can say which is the family party.
Okay, which is the family party? Okay, when you are here,
Let's we do that.
All right. So the dynamism of Mallanna is, today let's have a poll, everybody, and let us see which is the party that controls, or which is the family that controls the future of Telangana or the entire Telangana state. Which family controls the entire Telangana state is the question that is being asked in the poll today, and let's see what response do we get. So while we have the poll ready, insiders said that the chief minister is expected to announce the names of 80 to 90 candidates in the first list, most likely after August of 17th. All right, yes, please move on. So there we are. The poll has started. Is it BRS or is it the Congress that will, which is the family party? All right. So let us see. People are actually, they are writing the comments also. We have 37 votes already coming in. So let the poll
Let's see
continue.
after that.
Yes, after a minute or so. Now, let's move on to see. To dodge loan repayment, woman kills and burns the neighbor. So now, in a span of 24 hours, the police arrested the woman who allegedly killed her neighbor and later set her body on fire in Samshabad. Sheikh Rizwana Begum, who was an acquaintance of the victim, Walda Manjula.
Wadla Manjula killed the letter by threatening her for demanding repayment of loan.
Yeah, she took a loan of 2 lakhs around. Yeah, Rizwana took a loan of 2 lakhs 3 years ago and ignored the demands of Manjula to repay it. On Thursday, when Manjula stepped out for a doctor's consultation, Rizwana asked her to come down to her house and collect the bond for the loan. He said that duo then had lunch and soon scuffle took place between the two over the repayment of loan. Rizwana sprinkled chili powder into Manjula's eyes and then throttled her using a sari. Now that's something,
తన కళ్ళల్లో కారం పొడి కొట్టి ఇక
strangled her to death.
yes.
She snatched her gold ornaments and then hid her body under the bed. In the night,
she took second loan.
yeah,
second loan.
that's really sad and gruesome incident out there. In the night, she wrapped the body in a cloth and took it to an empty plot 60 meters away from the house. She took the petrol from her fancy store and poured it over the body and set it on fire. Now, that's a very
looks like another Disha incident. Disha
Yeah.
incidents was same area, same fire, same petrol.
Yes, and that's really sad to see such incidents coming to light. And CM directs TSPSC, that's
To
Telangana
reschedule
State Public Service Commission, to reschedule Group 2 exams. So now, what is your viewpoint on this, the group exam, the paper that got leaked in March earlier? So
In the past, KCR told there are some gap should be there, one exam to another exam to prepare
to prepare for
to
this,
prepare. बट केसीआर ने अभी क्या बोलते हैं, अभी ये देने का नहीं है, ऐसा बोलते हैं. वो पूरा ग्रुप 2 एस्पिरेंट्स ने टीएसपीएससी को बंदी कर दिया. वो बहुत गड़बड़ चल रहा है उधर.
Okay.
अभी क्या बोल रहे केसीआर ने, अभी वो ये होने के बाद अभी रिशेड्यूल करने को देख रहे हैं. ये बात 2 दिन के पहले
बोल देते तो it would have been much more easy for, those agitations would not have come to this. The whole area, I think Nampalli,
yes.
Yes, they
Nampalli.
had to stage a protest in Nampalli, bringing everything, the normal life to a halt. Then the reactions came.
इनका पत्रिका है ना, ये नमस्ते तेलंगाना है बोल के.
Okay.
इनका पत्रिका कहते खाली 500 लोगों ने आया, 500 लोगों को डर के ये रिशेड्यूल किया. इसमें है, आप देखे बोले तो, अब देखना चाहे तो इसमें है. सुदर्शन अन्न दे दूंगी. क्या है, 500 लोग दिख रहे थे. ये इनका नमस्ते तेलंगाना में आया था.
Okay.
हाँ, कल कितना लोग देख रहे हैं? 500 लोग.
That is definitely, that it is much more than 500.
Yeah.
So people, we have the visuals here for the agitation that took place, and the protest that took place for postponing the exam. And these are definitely, the number is not 500.
This is the government newspaper.
Okay, what does it read, Anna? Like
విద్యార్థులకు రాంగ్ కోచింగ్, కొందరి ప్రయోజనం కోసం, for few people they are fighting. For few people. This is a false news. This is how biased newspaper like Namaste Telangana will wrongly project yesterday's pretext.
No, it is not about few people. It is, see, there are, I have lived in Hyderabad, although I cannot read or write Telugu, but I have lived in Hyderabad myself, and I see the student community, since quite some time, each one of us prepare for the exams, Anna.
All exam notifications for only election purpose only, not for the people.
We
not
have,
for
as
the,
a student, when I was a student, we had so much hope that, I'll also get onto a government job. We used to prepare for ISET, MSET, beat any entrance exam for higher studies also. And these are for the jobs, for the government jobs. Again, it is a public service commission, Telangana State Public Service Commission. So people prepare wholeheartedly for it. They spend years. There are so many coaching
they
centers
are
in
spending
Kachiguda.
money also for coaching.
Yes, they spend so much money, so much time. Now, end of the day, if something like this, your exam is clashing with another exam.
Yes.
On top of that, you go prepared, and suddenly the syllabus is changed and paper is leaked.
Yes.
Post that, and it comes directly. I just read as to the TSPSC, who's the head of it.
Janardhan Reddy. Janardhan Reddy is the chairperson of the.
Yes, he is the
TSPSC.
chairperson. Apart from that,
But
it
he
comes.
doesn't know. He don't have any experience. He don't have anything, because Janardhan Reddy, he's chamcha.
Well, I am not aware of that. So,
You don't know that.
And he's the supreme authority who's heading this institute as well.
Absolutely.
Apart from Janardhan Reddy, it is being tabled
If
by,
it is not,
chaired
how
by
can
him.
he reschedule? How can he say?
Yes. So they rescheduled. First of all, the leak should not have been there.
Yes.
So
Already Group 1 leak and
Group 1 paper also leaked.
already
Okay.
and SC सब इंजीनियर एग्जाम वो लीक है, ये पेपर लीक है, सब कुछ लीक है. हमारा गवर्नमेंट सब लीकेज में चलता है.
So another statement coming in from Mallanna, हमारी government leakage में ही चलती है. So there are a lot of. So what about those students, who prepare wholeheartedly, who have spent their parents' hard-earned money on
The
with the coaching
government
centers?
is cheating, completely cheating. He is not interested to give jobs to students.
That is another way to dodge, those jobs. But again, then you have these schedules for all the exams.
Salaries को पैसा नहीं है तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट में.
But आप 3-3 लाख 10-10 लाख रुपया दे रहे हैं for different schemes.
Yeah.
You are distributing 3 lakhs to 10 lakhs to 1 lakhs. That's what I read yesterday.
Already the Minister of Labour told this is election strategy. These all are election strategy. We have some strategies. That's why we are doing like this. He told.
So
I thought
that leaves me speechless actually.
Yes, it's completely he is thinking about politics only, not for the Telangana future, not for the Telangana people.
Let's have a look at the poll people as to which is the family party. Let's have a look at the poll. Also, we have 148 votes, and let's see the result, what it has to say. Anna, which one?
So,
Oh, we have to
Hey,
sign in.
Bharat.
Okay.
now we can see in the
All right. We'll see it on the cell phone also.
yes.
Syllabus of economics.
Yeah, 81% of the people.
All
80%.
right, we have 80% of people believe it's the BRS, not the Congress, which is the family party. So it's going to be BRS as per the voting that we got. 80% is the majority, Anna. It's a clean sweep for BRS in this case of being accused of family politics. So Zorawar, Ukraine war delay India's tank project. So let's see what impact the Ukraine war has. The continuing war between Russia and Ukraine is delaying India's ambitious project to manufacture Zorawar light tanks, as the war now in its 19th month has choked the supply of chain choked the supply of chain for defense components. So that indicates basically it was Ukraine that was supplying, the parts for development of Zoravar, the indigenous tank that was to be developed by India. So this ongoing war has its side effects on the entire world, on the economy of the entire world, and also the plans that were related to the imports that were being done from there. So
now we can go to Telugu.
yes, and now people, with that we come to the conclusion of, or we come to the end of the Q News English part, and I would request all of you to move on to Q News Telugu with our very own and dynamic Mallanna. Thank you so much, Mallanna, for joining in.
ఇప్పుడు మరి కాసేపట్లో తెలుగు న్యూస్ ప్రారంభం కాబోతా ఉంది. నేను విజయ్ దగ్గరికి రావడం జరిగింది ఇవాళ. సో విజయ్తో పాటు నేను కూడా కొద్దిగా నేర్చుకోవాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో
I need to learn from him. I'm learning from him actually.
రావడం జరిగింది. ఇక్కడ మీకు చెప్పాను కదా, క్యూ కన్నడ, క్యూ హిందీ, క్యూ ఇంగ్లీష్ స్టార్ట్ కాబోతా ఉన్నాయని చెప్పి. మరి కాసేపట్లో క్యూ న్యూస్ శనార్థి తెలంగాణలో మీకు మార్నింగ్ న్యూస్ ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రసారం కాబోతా ఉంది. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. సైన్ గా.